Hello everyone, welcome. I haven't been uploading a lot recently because I had my exams or test. First of all, happy Pride Month. It's a very special month for me. It's a very special Pride month for me. That's because this time I am for a long time. I'm been finding who I am, about my sexuality, about my gender. It's still a long way to go, but this time, I feel proud of myself of like how much I have pondered and like explored my gender, my sexuality. This time I'm gonna celebrate Pride Month with all of you. I'm gonna read some LGBT plus books that have been on my TBR for a long time. So let's go through the TBR. I also got my coffee. I've been making iced coffee or cold coffee, instant cold coffee, which is really easy to make and like tastes like kind of good. Okay, so starting with the first book that I want to read. This is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McCryston. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. So this book is very famous. It has a very good movie. I love the movie, that's why I quickly bought the book and haven't read it yet. So if you don't know, Red, White and Royal Blue it's about President of America who has a son, and that son falls in love with a Prince of Wales, like a gay relationship, and it's really fun to follow. It's really steamy and it's really cute. And Red, White and Royal Blue is the first book that I'm gonna read. So I'm gonna read it in the audiobook and also with this and do some cleaning. It's such a good one. I love seeing all the memes, all thousands of memes on Twitter and like YouTube, and like everybody talking about it, everybody celebrating who they are, of how they are. It's really fun. Hi, so I just read 50 pages of Red, White and Royal Blue. I am in chapter 3. Just like quickly, quick thoughts. Way funnier than the movie, I think. Movie was cute, it was funny, but I really like the humor in this. One more thing though, but the thing is I'm not really into politics, so I do not understand all the terms and like elections and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot about that. So there's a lot of like things which I'm not able to understand about like those things, but other than that, I really like the tension between both the prince and the son of a president, Alex, being Alex, and so I really love their humor. I really like how like they discuss how Alex thinks that Henry is a robot, or like doesn't have any emotions, and like they both try to know each other. They crashed a wedding cake, which is like very expensive. Funny book. It's for sure a very funny book, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this. I'm gonna also play some Elden Ring, cause gotta prepare for DLC, right? Red, White and Royal Blue. Really enjoying it. I'm gonna finish this maybe today or tomorrow. It's a kind of a big book. It's 420 pages, I think. So I've only 50 pages in, but it is very easy to read. So I've been reading Red, White and Royal Blue. I have read a little bit more, and I'm enjoying it. It's so far it's like a 3 or 4 out of 5 stars. I know what the story is and I know what to expect, and I'm really enjoying the banter between the main romantic interest and also Alex's like sister June and friend Nora. They are all very good friends, and I really enjoy it. They're talking about another thing. So I've been wanting to watch this movie for a long time. So the Haikyuu movie, the dumpster battle, it's called. It's finally coming out. My show is in like an hour and I cannot wait for it because I love Haikyuu. Haikyuu is, I watched that show during COVID-19 and really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite shows. I haven't seen this since like when the last season came out in like 2021, I think. So this is the movie. I think it's the final movie. They're making in 2 parts. So the first part is currently out. So I'm really excited to watch it right now. So it's been 2 days since I started reading Red, White and Royal Blue. So I've been reading Red, White and Royal Blue. It's been 2 days since I updated. I watched the Haikyuu movie, the dumpster battle, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. The problem was I haven't seen Haikyuu since like 2-3 years, so I forgot a lot about it. It took me a while to get into it, but it was a very good, it felt like an episode of a show. Like the movie was, it didn't feel like a movie budget. It looked like as normally as like a Haikyuu episode looks. So other than that, it was great. Loved the story. Cried a little bit at the end because of Kenma. It was a very heartwarming story about like struggling with like getting motivation and wanting to love something, and like other people make you fall in love with the thing. Okay? And I also enjoyed the animation at the end with Kenma's POV. It felt like I was watching Challengers, which was also a very good movie I watched recently. Completed Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McCryston. I have some thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. This book was very cute in a lot of aspects. Like the interaction between Alex and Henry. But other than that, this book really had like nothing enjoyable for me to enjoy. Nothing, because I am not really into politics. I do not care about politics or royal stuff, so I'm really not into those stuffs. The movie didn't really like emphasize on that. They emphasized a little bit, but it was understandable. But they go deep into like rivalry and politics and like all the elections and stuff, which isn't really my type. And so the whole book is around this. I like the interaction between both the main characters, but it also gets very steamy, very spicy, which took me a time, but I got adjusted to it. But a big topic of racism and like gender and politics related to all that. But other than that, I didn't really like connect with any of the characters. So yeah, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. It was a good book. I think that I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't watched the movie, because I obviously prefer the movie now because I have seen the movie first and watched the book later. But I'm glad I read it. Like, I really wanted to read this book because I love the movie and I wanted to contrast it. Red, White and Royal Blue, the first book, is finished. Okay, so the next book that I want to read is Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf is a very popular classic writer. I looked up about like books representation of transgender people, trying to look into more into books or like people and like media about trans people, because they help me figure myself out. They still help me figure myself out. Orlando was like one of the first books that popped up about like gender identity and like exploring of it. And this book is about, I think it's about a person named Orlando who like can change their sex pretty fast, like a chameleon. And it's like a fictional biography of Orlando about how their life happens. And yeah, I'm pretty like stoked to read about this, because I've bought this book a long time ago and wanted to read this but didn't got to it. Orlando by Virginia Woolf will be the second book. Oh, I wanted to show you something. So I bought this fake leaves to try to put on my shelves. It has been up for 2-3 days, but I think it's falling apart. It doesn't stick very well, and also so I don't think it looks that good. I mean, it looks good in camera, but like in person it looks weird. So I think I'm gonna remove it. I'm kind of bored of it right now. I mean, they look very realistic. It's Ivy, like a Taylor Swift reference. So I've been reading Virginia Woolf's Orlando. I have read the first chapter. I've read about 36 pages, and it's a lot. So first of all, I want to start by saying this is a classic book. So of course it's very dense. Like every single line can be picked apart, and like it has like so many, like it's very wordy and it's very descriptive, and it's very well written, and I am enjoying it. It took me some time to get into writing style of Virginia Woolf, but after some time I really enjoyed the way, well, it's very poetic, like if you like poetry. Speaking of the story, Orlando. So Orlando is a part of like British royalty, I think. Orlando falls in love with this very androgynous looking princess from Russia in the first chapter. Orlando already has a spouse or wife named Margaret. He has like an affair with this princess of Russia. So sometimes Orlando suspects the Russian princess is like kind of cheating. After some time it gets resolved, and then they try to like run away from all the English court and like royalty. So Orlando waits in the rain for her, but she like escapes to Russia in her ship, and he gets stood up by her, and then Orlando is very angry, and that's where the first chapter ended. This is a very dense book, not something which I can read in like a day. I'm gonna read this a little by little, like a 1 or 2 chapter in a day. There are 6 chapters, so we'll be done very fast. Take my time, savor the writing style. Hi, I haven't been updating a lot. It's been probably a week, I guess, since I'm reading the book. I am currently at page 176. I'm at the final chapter. Chapter 6, Orlando by Virginia Woolf. The idea of this book is fascinating because it's about gender commentary called Old Author from Virginia Woolf. So this is really hard to read, especially for me, because English is my second language and I do not get a lot of words which are used in here. I have learned some new words from it, which is really interesting. Is crinoline, kind of a garment Victorian women would use to like hide their pregnancies. Pregnancy was shunned to talk about in those era, to hide that they wore like crinoline garment. There are a lot of like commentaries about it. Kind of unable to decipher because I am not really like good at English. Love the experience of reading the book because it's very poetic. A lot of meaning, and a lot of like Orlando, the narrator or the Virginia Woolf is trying to say gets lost. The old English, right? Best way to consume this book for me is to read a chapter and then go to online and read the summary and like the explanation of like those chapters. I think that is more rewarding for me than reading this book, because sometimes I just feel like I'm reading pretty words, and sometimes those pretty words kind of hurt my head when I see a lot of words which I don't know the meaning of. Virginia Woolf writing is like it jumps a lot. Like what I mean to say is that like she explains like some things or some like kind of emotions very poetically, and that it could go on for a little bit longer than needed. It's fine, I love it. I have found some really profound like quotes in this book which like have given me like chills. I want to share one or two with you. So one of my favorite quotes that I found, then instantly I said, that's pen game, that's literal banger of a line. Has the finger of death to be led on a tumult of life for time to time, lest it rend us asunder? Are we so made that we have to take death in small doses daily, or we could not go on without the business of living? It's a commentary about sleeping, of wow, what is need to sleep. This gives me chills because I haven't seen anyone describe sleep as a partial death to continue on living, and that's That's such a good line. It's just something to write on your diary or something. So I am almost very lost with the plot. I know the plot points. So last time I talked about Orlando being heartbroken, and then Orlando tries to live alone in his mansion. Some woman tries to stalk him in his house, and then he like goes away to, I think, Turkey and becomes an ambassador. And then Orlando one day gets into like sleep for 6-7 days. Magically, like three like angels or women appear, and then Orlando is transitioned into a woman. So yeah, this was the part that interested me the most to read this book, because it has sexuality and gender talk about it. That is the reason I was interested in this book. So when it said it's a biography, I thought like we would be talking about Orlando as a character, but there's a lot of also politics and relationship with other people we are talking about in this book, and I don't get it a lot. I don't understand most of it. So there are a little moments where like Orlando wonders about their inner self, about like how much they have changed but how much they have not changed, about like being a woman and a man. Society like sees you, and it's a very good book to like decipher and see every word as like what does the writer or the biographer meant it to be. So I am enjoying Orlando, but I don't know how to rate this book, because it really doesn't feel like I'm reading a normal book. It's an experience. It's the first experience of me with the author, and also the first experience with me with reading hard classic, because this isn't very easy to read like Little Women was, which is a classic, but it's a children's classic. I think it's out of my comfort zone. The topic was interesting. The book is very well known and very well respected, and it's a part of transgender history, right? So that was all my thoughts of Orlando. So now Orlando is, after becoming a woman, comes back to her homeland, England, experiences change in century and change in Queen Victoria becomes the queen, and like times are changing. Orlando is trying hard to adjust. Now she wants a husband but doesn't want a husband. Like it's kind of confusing, but yeah, it's a very good book to talk about. But I don't think I will be able to read this book. It looks pretty dark out there. Like it's raining. It's going to rain heavily. That's why the power keeps going out. The power keeps going out. I'm not gonna record more, and I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna read the other book which I'm reading for the other vlog. Orlando, gonna finish it today. Gonna give it a final thought. So I finished Virginia Woolf's Orlando. I'm gonna be honest, read the last chapter, like I skimmed through it, and then I read the summary to like get it what was going on, because I wanted this book to be like a character study of like gender and transformation and like society, but it is that, but it's stuck behind a language which is old, and I do not understand a lot of words and the structure of this novel. I couldn't read this book. I was interested in book of what is represented, and I got some cool things out of it, but other than that, Orlando was an experience. It was a cool experience. It was out of my comfort zone, and I'm glad I read it. Today I watched a movie. I think it's the best movie I've seen in 2024. I think it's one of my favorite. I'm talking about I Saw the TV Glow. I had a lot of news article comparing it to Twin Peaks. It's horror, not really, it's horrifying. So if you are someone who loves their escapism, I think this is a very good movie to watch during Pride Month. There's a little bit queer and like very heavy transgender representation in this movie. Like I related to that particular side of it a lot. So this movie is about, to sum it in one word, it's about derealization or depersonalization. It is horrifying, but it's not like the normal horror movies you watch. It's such a cool movie. It's very beautiful. Love the music in it, the atmosphere. This movie was alluring. It was like I had my eyes open and I was like looking at my TV glow for like 1 hour 40-50 minutes. It just captured me. Felt like I was seeing myself kind of like some parts of it, loving a TV show or a movie to that it becomes your life. It's all you think about, you know, wanting to escape the things around you. It's a really cool like play on that, really cool concept and like execution on like that concept of like addiction to escapism in the media. And there are so many loneliness themes about, as I said, transgender, like family. If you are someone who really loves a TV show that you think about it all day and it's the main part of your personality, like mine is with Evangelion and Twin Peaks, yeah, this movie is for you. I think you will love it if you like something like Evangelion or Twin Peaks, or you just like a good escapism. I think it's gonna haunt you. Little review of TV Glow is, I would give it 4.5 out of 5. If I rewatch it, maybe 5 out of 5. So we are at the end of this vlog. To sum it up, finished Virginia Woolf Orlando, my first Virginia Woolf ever. The other book that I read is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and I love the movie for this, so I read the book. Didn't really enjoy a book a lot. I think it was like tackled different things more, tackled a lot of politics, other things which I wasn't really into. Only way I was able to finish the book is like playing video games and like reading the audiobook. I wasn't really paying a lot of attention, so yeah, this was like a 2 stars for me, and I couldn't really rate this one. So these are the 2 books I read. I also wanted to read another book. I wish I could read it right now. The House in the Cerulean Sea. It's by T.J. Klune. It's a pretty famous book. I bought this book like few years ago, and I have read like this much of it. Like I have 100 pages left, but I just couldn't finish it for some reason. I was really enjoying it. It was very chill and very comfy, and like very caring book. I was thinking of giving this one a second try, but couldn't, unfortunately, because there are other books I want to read, and this vlog is going on for a long. I will read this one sometimes else. So this is the vlog. This is the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed watching this vlog. If you got any good book recommendation, what did you read for this month, what are you reading, everything else in between. Bye bye.